never easy learning that someone you love has a developmental condition like autism. Learning all you can about autism and where you can get help will ease your fear and concerns. And it can also equip you and your family to have the support that you need. So tell me, Yolanda, what is autism?
Autism is really a neurodevelopmental disorder, and from what we understand is that children on the autism spectrum, they have difficulties with social interaction, they've got difficulties communicating and difficulties with particular repetitive behaviors. And because it's a spectrum, as the name suggests, autism spectrum disorder, you really get different varieties of severity and different varieties of presentation.
So what are some common symptoms of autism?
So the common symptoms are really your difficulties with communicating, and it can vary from children that are really not verbal, so children that not develop language like a normal 2-year-old would, and that's when parents become a little bit concerned. And also sometimes what we find is kids that are very restrictive in their behaviors, so they might line up toys, they might be very rigid when it comes to patterns or routines, so they'll find it difficult if you make a change in your day. If you're not going to drive to kindy a certain way, you take a different route, kids might find that really overwhelming. So it's that need for sameness that we see, and really having a difficulty with connecting with peers and people just in their surroundings. So with their parents, with friends at kindy, with friends at school, and maybe grandparents and family in their surroundings.
Wow. So do you have any tips then for parents watching right now that have just found out their child is autistic?
Tips that I often give parents is try and have a sort of a routine from where your child can sort of explore their world. So having that safety, having your daily routine, not messing it up too much, but from that safety, try and explore. So just sort of expand that need for sameness. So, have your routine, but don't be afraid to step outside of it to make your child feel comfortable to explore new things. And if you do anything that's out of the ordinary, pre-announce it. So say, today we're going to take a different route, or today we're going to go there, and really try and pick your battles. So, it's hard with any child, and let alone if they have a developmental condition like this, and really try and pick your battles. So kids might not eat a lot or eat a lot of variety because of sensory issues they often have. And so maybe try and, limit that expectation and try and develop with your child if that makes sense.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. So what about people watching that don't have a child with autism, but, they see this parent struggling with this, naughty child, they might think, that's being really loud, or, they're just struggling. And obviously you can sort of start to work out, that there's something not quite right with that child. And, once you finally realize, they probably have autism. What's the advice? Because obviously it's quite a judgmental, it's hard for parents that don't actually understand. What advice have you got for us that, we're sitting on the sidelines looking at this poor parent, obviously really struggling, this child that's really struggling and having a bad day? What advice have you got?
I think just knowing or trusting that those parents really struggle. I work with parents with kids on the spectrum. It's the majority of work I do, and people really struggle with this, the pathway to getting to diagnosis and then helping your child, which is typically takes years to support your child in school, and simple things like going to the shop can be nearly impossible. And so having that compassion and understanding that it's really very hard. There's more to that than what you see.
Yeah, absolutely. It's even, trying to go on a holiday or a plane, or even just go to the park, or every single time you're out of the house or even in the home, it's a challenge.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there you have it. If you are a parent of a child with autism, you can make a big difference in their life. However, remember to seek out support where you feel it's needed. You're doing a really great job. It's an incredible challenge, I think, for you, and we take our hats off to you. Keep up the great work. If your GP is ever wanting to refer you and your child to a paediatrician, do ask them to refer you to the amazing team at Townsville Paediatrics. They have a team of specialised paediatricians with a huge range of specialty areas, so your child will be in very good hands.